All right, it is 7 o'clock, October 2nd, 2023. This is the time and place for this city commission meeting for city of Tioga. We'll call this order, the meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
One nation. All right. Thank you. All right. Start with the minutes for the September 18, 2023 meeting, the public hearing, September 18, 2023, and the regular commission meeting minutes as well.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
All right, with a motion and a second to approve the minutes, no questions, comments, or concern, we'll move to vote.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so moves. All right, commissioner reports.
I don't have too much. Pulling all the temporary meters. Still a lot to do. You're busy. Nothing big to report on. Nothing.
No, I'm good.
Nothing.
All right, let's go with modification or approval of the agenda. We do have a couple of modifications. So under new business, under the Tioga Fund.
I'm so sorry.
Somebody's just trying to steal your car while you're in here. All right, we need to get Joel on here regarding, permission to trap. Yeah, that should actually be on the business, I'm sorry, because you'd already spoke to the commission. Okay. We need to do this resolution to remove the old commission president and Bugby from the bank accounts. And then a request from Haley regarding digital attendance. Or anything else that needs to be added or modified?
I'll make a motion to approve with the amendments.
Awesome. All right, with the motion and a second to approve the amendments to the agenda, modifications to the agenda, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
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 All right, we'll go with the legal report, please.
Sorry, guys, I need myself on one time down the volume on Zoom, so I don't have to put that go here. There I am, okay. A couple of items, I appreciate, President Wood's aspect two of the resolution, the agenda, as was indicated in all assist where necessary, under that section, but just as a heads up, guys, what we, am I still echoing? Sorry, let me look here. Is that better at all?
Yes.
Okay, I'm hearing my own voice and that makes it very hard to speak. Okay, with regard to the issue of the resolution, as we know, we did some recent work with bonding and basically it's just, it's clerical in nature. I do have a recollection, so you guys know, we had addressed this previously at, Commissioner Bundy's departure. Abby and I have looked for that resolution. We don't seem to be finding a copy, but I do recall that that was the intention of the commission some time ago. Essentially, we're just cleaning up deposit accounts. So I'll be asking the commission at that point on the agenda to adopt a resolution, which will be placed in writing. Abby and I will be sure to get that done likely tomorrow, which will clarify and amend the existing parties with authority to make deposits on the account. And of course, that would indicate the appropriate current members of the commission. So that's that line item. Other couple of updates that I have to share tonight, and I will try to make it quick because fortunately we have a nice short agenda. I did appear in court back on September 19th. As you all know, we have an action pending against Aerofleet One, who had borrowed from the Tioga Fund a rather substantial loan. They made only one payment, which was made tardy, frankly. The city, I will give them great credit, really does try to work with borrowers. They attempted to resolve that short of court action. We brought 4 counts, one for breach of contract, and then 2 counts which kind of fall over the breach of contract claim in the event there's some issue with contract. There wasn't here. Those are called promissory estoppel and unjust enrichment. And then for various reasons, which I know that certain members of the city are aware of, we did bring a count of fraud because of some developments that had occurred there. I showed up to trial on the morning of the 19th, and for the first time in my career, I had no opposition. They made no appearance, neither the defendant nor the counsel. And so I moved for a default judgment and the court granted it. So the city should, here in the next day or so, document into the court approving that as for the conversations and motion on the record. That the city should be recovering approximately $36,000 plus accumulated interest on the judgment. And the court did find there was a factual basis for the fraud alleged. I tell you that because I think it is a matter of public importance, that, you know, when people make agreements to borrow public funds, that's the public's money, right? And the representations that they make to secure those loans should be accurate, and the agreements that they make to pay it back should be meaningful. So that was part of the reason that we explained to the court sort of the importance of that case is that it's not acceptable for borrowers to engage in sham or shell borrowing at the expense of the public. And I was pleased that the court understood and made a declaratory finding on that issue so that hopefully that doesn't happen to others in the future. So that's the update now. And I will follow up with Abby as to execution of that judgment once the court signs off, but I'm happy we can close the door on that matter, I guess, and we'll see what, if any, relief or relief rather, fruition comes of that judgment. I do know, and I appreciate Abby having sent it last week, and I think that's on the agenda. I'm sorry, I'm trying to flip through all of my notes here. It's on number 3, new business. I did review with Abby the amended election agreement, just so you guys know I have no objections, and I'll reiterate that at point number 3, but I have no objection to the amended agreement. Essentially, the amendments to catch us up with current statutory and relevant law, and they track the manner in which cities conduct local elections. So I don't have any objections to the form of the agreement as proposed by Williams County and as amended, which is in your package this evening. I guess the final item that I have, and I think Josh will vouch for that. Josh and Abby and I are working on a meeting, hopefully, which we might be able to set up this week or early next, so that we can complete some of the construction issues, I hope, and the negotiations surrounding them as they pertain to that Benson Street area. I know that's been a long time coming. I again want to thank Abby and Josh for their help, and I hope that we can all lift up this week so we can finish up with that negotiation process. And Josh can add anything that you think is necessary. Josh, just as you know, I did get your additional supplementary emails. I figured that we would discuss those at a meeting with you and Abby and I so we can land at something discrete, which includes all that information. I am sure that I have some other bullet points that I'm forgetting. It's been kind of a crazy Monday. So if at any point during the agenda you guys need my assistance further, I'll be happy to jump in, but I think that'll probably do it for me for now.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, thanks. Josh, I see you're on Zoom today, correct?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Excellent. Well, thank you and good evening. Few items to go over tonight. It'll be pretty straightforward, I think, for the most part. So starting with the South Main Street reconstruction project, the televising that was approved at the last meeting was completed last week. So we will be reviewing that. Beyond that, I guess as Liz had alluded to, we're looking at getting a meeting scheduled to discuss details on the memo and whatnot that was presented at the last commission meeting as well. So any questions related to that project at this time?
I don't believe
Okay.
that.
Okay. Moving on to Northeast Tioga Reconstruction Phase 2. Paving work on the portion of the project west of North Hanson Street was completed last week. So the asphalt and concrete on that portion of the project is complete, and they're continuing to work on some of the concrete work east of there, as well as getting road dirt work and whatnot completed as well east of Hanson Street on that project. So things are moving along there, as long as hopefully weather dependent. Things will potentially be wrapping up here in the next few weeks on that. So Tioga Dam emergency action plan and safety improvements. The geotechnical analysis on that is moving along. Expect some draft reports on that here in the coming weeks. So we can kind of continue to define what improvements may be needed or warranted related to the dam there. Recreational trail project. We'll be looking to schedule a meeting with Commissioner Christensen and Steele, as well as Dan, to discuss and review the preliminary plans on that. 3rd Street Northwest reconstruction update on that project. The contractor's currently working on sidewalks and driveways this week, and it sounds like next week they are scheduled. The later half of next week is scheduled for paving of the streets on that project. So that should be that project should be wrapping up here the next couple weeks for the most part, with some miscellaneous cleanup and restoration items afterwards. So related to that project, the contractor did send a letter late last week to me just regarding completion dates. Their completion date on the project was October 1st, or substantial completion date, I should specify. So I guess related to that, they had some scheduling conflicts with their subcontractor performing the concrete work out there, so have experienced some delays, and they are requesting time extension of October 27th, 2023. I guess, I don't know if just for your consideration, if you want to approve that this evening.
Okay, so they want an extension to the 27th.
Yes.
Isn't there a change order? Do we have any documents for that?
Nothing. I haven't prepared a change order. I just wanted to present their request to the commission, and like I mentioned, this did come in. I think it was Friday last week, so wasn't able to get it on the documentation on the agenda. So
Is this something that, hold on a second, Josh, I'm sorry. Is this something that the commission would like to entertain, or do we want to wait for the documentation?
Yeah, I mean, they've had plenty of time to do it, but, you know, I tell you, they've just been really good to work with. And it's the subcontractor that's held up. I think we should extension. We can just get out. Only does.
We'll make it a motion to extend it contingent on them providing the documentation to the city auditor for signature.
That sounds good.
Okay, is there a second? I'll second. With a motion and a second for that. No questions, comments, or concerns from the board. We'll move to vote for that one.
Yes.
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 Yes, all right, so moved. So can you take care of that for us, Josh?
Yes, absolutely. I will get that pulled together. Okay, next item, KS Industries, water and sewer extension. No real updates on that at this time. The Tioga soccer field project, just have the access from the west end of Front Street that we've been kind of talking on here the last couple meetings. Maybe I guess when Liz, Abby, and I get together, hopefully later this week, we can chat on that as well. The SCADA system expansion, I do have meeting to discuss with Jeff and Tim, further details on that on my list of items. CWSRF update questionnaire. So the last meeting we did discuss the DWSRF, which is drinking water, and this would be the clean water, so storm sewer or sanitary sewer type projects. We do have the deadline for submitting those of November 1st. So I will have that at the next meeting for approval. Next item then is the talked at the last meeting about potential projects for next year. So we'll be scheduling a meeting for that to discuss what improvements the city's looking at for 2024 construction. And that is all I have this evening, unless if there's anything else for me.
Anybody have any questions for Josh?
Oh, not really. I was sure hoping they'd get out temporary water down there. I was surprised they're still on temporary water.
There is some outstanding bacteriological testing on portions of the water main out there that haven't been getting passing tests on. So we'll be talking with them tomorrow what their plan of attack is on that, whether it's rechlorination of the water mains to disinfect them or what their plan is going to be to get that portion active. So
Temperatures are coming soon.
All right, anything else for Josh? All right, thank you, Josh.
thank you.
All right, next order old business, Joel.
So, since the last meeting, I was able to meet up with, Jessica and take her and show her the different areas that was going to obtain permission to trap on. I also was able to bring in some of the traps that I'll be using, they're over there. If you guys would like me to show them to you, have to go through that, what they do, and what they're used for, how they'd be set up and things like that. Completely up to you.
So I know you guys, waited for this for, the whole commission to be here, correct? So do you guys have any questions or concerns regarding this or what?
As long as when looked at it, she's satisfied.
Define satisfied?
I am okay with it. However, I think there could be some issues. When you start letting one person, we're gonna have to let everyone do it. I think there needs to be maybe some procedures or steps in place to make sure that we do protect people, animals, that kind of thing. And I know you kind of explained it to me. I don't think there would be too many problems with people or animals in the areas that you're wanting to do it. But we were discussing it and I was wondering if we could have Liz, I would be interested in passing it as long as we have Liz draw up a resolution to allow permitting and things like that. So that way we have an idea if you have to apply for a permit in order to.
And so that way we can kind of keep track of who's doing what, where and when, so.
Right.
A little bit of accountability.
Did you also like signage to be part of that, where
Yes.
traps are set over a certain
Right.
piece of property that is
Right, and that's one of the,
designated with signage?
one of the things that we were gonna ask for in the, resolution. And Liz, is that something that you can draw up for us?
For entertaining. Hold on, let me switch. One second. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, that's better on my side. Okay, so are we thinking maybe, and I agree with that, it would be a good idea to have some kind of tracking mechanism essentially. So are you wanting I don't know that we need a permit process, but I'm open to that. As the gentleman at the podium indicated, under state law, you have to have the written consent of the owner of the premises. And so I don't know if we actually want a permit or if we want an application for permission, so to speak. And, to convert what he supplied or appendicize it to such an application. But I guess I want to know what you guys are thinking for process. And then, of course, if we approve the application, theoretically, with or without conditions, leave the option open for that. And that would, satisfy state law probably, but I'm open to your thoughts.
And I think that that's what we were trying to get at, to make sure that we were covered under, century code.
Okay. So so basically we want, a resolution that would account for, the requirement that, a written application be supplied, for the trapping. And that would identify the area to be trapped. The nature of traps to be used. And I think our applicant here has already done that, but just for resolution purposes, any immediately adjacent, occupied properties probably. And I know that's been identified by you guys already, but if we're gonna do an ordinance, we'll just make sure we remain consistent with what we required of him.
Two things,
And
Liz.
then, let me see, yep, the nature of the traps to be used, and trap line checks, I think, and I want to confirm that, you probably don't want to set it in every case, but I think the representation at the last meeting was that trap line would be checked every 24 hours, is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
And then he also had something else he wanted to add.
Another thing
Go ahead.
another thing on your end, Liz, that you may want to put into this would be, I know the state of North Dakota requires on their state land to have a trap tag, equipment number, or the person's name, phone number, and address. So,
Are you a little muddy there?
so.
Say that for me one more time.
So with the state of North Dakota, if you travel on the public properties, you have to have affixed to your trapping devices a tag that either has your North Dakota trappers or North Dakota outdoorsman's equipment number, or the person's name, address, and phone number. So that way you know if his
Okay.
equipment is a field, and if it is set in an area that it's not supposed to be, if this is a one of those things where it turns into multiple people doing it. You can dictate whose trap is what.
Yep, so we can put the, and you can supply that obviously in the form of your application, but I think that's a fair point. And I do recall having seen that, we'll note that the party who's making application agrees to tag or otherwise consistent with state regulation, identify their fast lines, et cetera. And they have to keep that on file and updated accordingly, with the state. And then you guys can specify what you're trapping, obviously, and then the commission would consider it. Do you guys have a feeling, by that meaning the commission, do you have a feeling for time period? I mean, do they just make application at one meeting and then we hear it at the next, or what's the mean there? Okay,
That will work.
so applications go to the city auditor,
To City Hall, yes.
and then to be, delivered to commission
Correct.
at the next convenient meeting.
Yes.
Seems like a lot of red tape to me when he's already got to ask for permission. He's got to ask
Well,
for permission.
Well, and I think by doing that written permission, I think that is just the same as what the state would require. And just make it consistent across the board. Am I wrong?
No, I don't see a problem with the application process because then the city has on file anybody and where they're gonna be on city property, anybody that's gonna be trapping, what they're trapping with, what they're trapping for. And so if anybody in the community has an issue with it, they'd be able to come in, pull that person's application, say, okay, yeah, they do have permission, this is their number on the tag. Is that consistent with the trapping that you're seeing close to the properties? So I don't think this is too much at all.
That's fair, and then you
Yeah.
have an idea of, sorry, it's about tracking it out there too, so. I mean, we can give him permission, but again, if you let one person do it, we might have a bunch of people that want to do it, so we have to have some kind of system in place that's.
Yeah, I appreciate your concern with red tape. I just like red tape as well. So we'll try to make it really easy for everyone by allowing people to appendicize their request. They can write the information, and in this case, you can perhaps staple his proposal to the application and certify it, and then the city can have another piece of paper that they staple to all of that, granting permission and setting any conditions that they feel are consistent with the application. Try to make it easy. Yeah, I'll do as little paper as possible.
Can I make a request that Tim have to sign every single one of them? All right, so, anybody want to entertain?
So, yeah, I'll make the motion to approve, I guess contingent on the process that was comes up with.
All right, with a motion and a second to approve contingent on the process drawn up by Liz. No questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. All right, so moves.
Perfect. And let's check on the signage, whether she's gonna have the city supply or whether we need to get them what they need to say.
We'll have that addressed.
Okay, sorry, I didn't bring that up before.
Nope, you're good, we'll have that addressed.
Thank you.
All right, let's move to new business here. Election agreement with Williams County.
This approval. Sorry about that. I'm seeking approval of, the contract. It was amended by the county just to add any legislative updates. Liz has reviewed it, and, she said those are, all the corrections are correct. Those are just updates, to bring it up to code. And, the rest are things that you guys signed and agreed to.
I'll leave a motion. I'll second. All right, with the motion and a second to approve. No questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move the vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, so moved. Very good. All right, next will be the estimate for the hockey rink for the winter cover.
Haley actually is requesting a hockey rink cover in the amount of $2,380. It protects the cement out there. It's already crumbling. We do have some folks coming in to fix it. But in the meantime, we don't want it more destroyed over this winter. So we are seeking permission to have this quote approved.
So is this gonna be a cover that permanent? No?
No, this
Oh,
this cover is, it's gonna be a once a year fee that we'll have to purchase. So once it's put on there, it's destroyed. The park, manager, Tyler Judkins actually used to get his and recommended. And we had, the guys, there's two places that are giving folks to fix the hockey rink. And one of them recommended the, hockey rink covers also. They said it'll protect you. Unfortunately, they're not permanent, you know, you can use them if you use them. They're once and done. Like, it's low enough, $2,000, it's low enough that, placing them in is not.
okay, and it's still gonna be available to be used as, but
Sorry,
you can come up here. Thanks.
I was gonna say, it also helps it from leaking when they're trying to fill it at the beginning of the winter.
Oh.
And then they know the thaw and everything, it comes out the side of the rink, so it would help with that.
All right, so this is, okay, it's not gonna prevent us from utilizing it this winter.
Right.
All right, is there anybody want to entertain?
We'll make a motion. Tyler did a good job last year, trust his judgment.
I'll second.
All right, with motion and a second to approve, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, so moves. All right, the next one is going to be, the fund application.
So we placed this Tioga fund application on hold, so we did some more research. I don't want to continue to keep it on hold, so I'm asking you guys to deny it, when we do the research and present it. We'll go ahead and take it again to Tioga fund,
So you want us to deny it for now,
so that it won't be on hold.
this is the economic development, new program startup. And okay, this is the one that Tioga Fund actually also recommended the denial of, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just need a motion to.
I'll make a motion to deny.
All right, with a motion and a second to go with Tioga Fund's recommendation of denial. No questions, comments, or concerns from the board, we'll move to the vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, so moves. All right, the next one is going to be, you want to do this resolution? Do the resolution for the removal from the bank account.
Resolution 2023-16 dated October 2nd, 2023, be it resolved by the City Commission of the City of Tioga, Williams County, North Dakota, a resolution to modify the signature cards for the City of Tioga bank accounts, whereas the City of Tioga, Williams County, North Dakota is a municipal corporation organized and existing under the laws of the state of North Dakota, whereas in order to facilitate the order processing of the City of Tioga business, the city auditor has requested that Abby Salinas auditor, Veronica Peterson deputy auditor, and Desiree Hanson deputy auditor be listed as signers of on the city accounts for Tioga general account, and that Natalie Bundy be removed from said signature card. Now therefore, the city commission approves removal of Natalie Bundy from the city of Tioga.
All right, anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Also. All right, with a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Did you get the number out already?
Yes.
Okay. No questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move the vote.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. All right, so moves. All right, next thing under new business is going. Sorry about that. Next thing will be Haley's request. Do you want to come do that or?
Yeah.
And then, I'm glad you're here tonight, Wendy, because I have a question regarding what she's gonna bring up. I want to see how you guys handle things too.
Okay, so we had our first meeting with the new members of the expansion committee last Wednesday, and it went pretty well. But the general consensus or question was, can we get an official motion to either be able to do Zoom or team meetings is what the architects use, or to not be able to do that. There are pros and cons to each way. I know it's a struggle for some of our members to get there because their work schedules and kids have sports and stuff like that. So we want to try to be as accommodating as we can, but also understand that we have to work within the typical parameters of a workday for the architect as well, as their presence is vital. So I guess I'll leave that up to you guys. One of the things we talked about at the end of the last meeting was, instead of doing meetings after hours on Wednesdays, which seemed to be the best day, could we do 4 to 6? Could we do 4:30 to 6:30? If Teams meetings or virtual meetings were an option while they're commuting back from work, and then they can show up at the meeting. That way, we don't have to backtrack and go over everything we already went over while they were headed to the meeting, if that makes sense.
That makes sense to me. I guess my question for Wendy, I know we don't do this for any other board or anything other than the commission meeting. Is that anything that you guys have even entertained? I'm just trying to get a feel for it because I kind of like with the traffic, you approve for one, we're gonna do it for everybody. Not that it's a necessity. I'm just asking where you guys are at with that too. How do you guys feel about it? Because truly I want to make sure that we're getting consistent across the board.
Yeah, I don't know that we've done it for the Tioga Fund, but we have, for some of our EDC board meetings, we've done it for Tioga Rec board meetings, Tioga Medical Center board meetings, we do that. Allow them to join via Zoom or via Teams meetings, and you know, it has been a benefit. Sometimes technology doesn't work like you wish it would, but yeah, we've offered that to allow people to attend that otherwise couldn't be there. I think the request really was, could we have these meetings start at 5 and go to 7, and that didn't seem to work for the architects.
Okay.
And so I think we'd have a lot more in-person attendance if we could start at 5 versus 4 or 4:30, but that didn't seem to.
Right. Okay.
Can I add one more thing?
Yes.
The only other tricky thing with doing virtual attendance is, it's not as easy to participate. So if decisions are being made, or if a motion or a vote needs to be made, it's not necessarily as easy as just having everybody in one room. But like Wendy said, it's not always easy to get everybody there when the architects need to be there. But I feel like there can be a compromise that we could come to of some sort. But then again, if you do that for one, you gotta do it for all the others. And
Right, and I just want to make sure that, I mean, we started doing this, doing it live whenever I became commission president. And I feel that it's important that we have that ability. I just wanted to make sure if we're gonna do this, we're gonna have it across the board, have it available across the board.
right.
So if you guys choose to do it, that's something that you guys choose to do.
Right. I mean, in person is always preferred,
Correct.
but we totally understand it.
All right, any questions from the board regarding any of this?
I like the idea of it.
Oh, hold on, Liz, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I do think I don't want the commission to feel like it's boxing itself in, because there could be boards or committees that are established in the future, which for some reason might require personal appearance. I mean, I want to make that clear. This is a unique project. And I think one of the most unique things about it is the idea that you have a 17-member board. I don't mean to be disrespectful in saying that's basically tantamount to herding cats, but that's basically tantamount to herding cats. Because trying to facilitate, 17 scheduled in person, I can only imagine would be tremendously difficult on a routine basis. And, so I do think, just for the commission's record, that it's very decent, given the project and the situation, that you guys are entertaining virtual appearance, but I don't think you should feel as though this is the average situation, or that it's a rule across all boards or committees that may be established, because I do think this is actually quite unique. I've never seen a 17-member board before, ever, in anything. So I think that by itself is a pretty special circumstance. So that's my only input.
Tim, you were saying, sorry.
Yeah, I like the idea of doing virtual, and I'd hate to, change it now since you've kind of already started it. With that many people, that John foolishly put all on. It would be good. I didn't.
I don't want anyone. Okay, so anybody want to entertain a motion? I'll make a motion to approve it. Okay, I'll second. All right, with a motion and a second to approve the ability to utilize electronic means for your meetings. No questions, comments, concerns from the board will develop.
I hope it looks better than ours does sometimes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so moved. All right. So it looks like that's it for new business. Now we have the consent agenda. Financials for August 23.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second. All right, with a motion and a second to approve the financials from August of 2023. No questions, comments, concerns from the board. Will you vote?
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, that appears to end the meeting for the evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
You were really like, gun all about that one. All right, with the clear motion from Larry and a second. No question, comments, concerns from the board. Will you vote?
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, thank you. It is 7:42.